it is so much about culture. Like look at the Patriots dynasty. Look at the Chiefs dynasty that's happening right now. Like these guys have great cultures. You look at these teams that are like on the up and up. You have the Houston Texans have a great culture. The 49ers have a great culture.
Rams.
The Detroit Lions have a great culture. The St. Louis or the LA Rams have a great culture. I believe the Chargers will have a great culture here in a few years because they all have great head coaches, and they all have a single thing in mind, which is like go win, go for the Super Bowl.
That's not what this
win.
Vikings team is.
Everybody plays for each other. No, I don't think that's what that Vikings team is at all. I don't think that's what that Bears team is. What's your culture?
That's definitely not what the Bears team is, but I'm speaking.
What's your culture?
Yeah, I'm speaking in terms of, to me, the powder kegs in Chicago are much more obvious. I don't know. I mean, again, I don't know why these guys get paid millions of dollars to talk about this shit and they don't look at anything. Again, the powder kegs in Chicago are very obvious to me, but I think the powder kegs in Minnesota are being discussed a lot less because I just think we're in this post Caleb Williams excitement talk right now, and it's like the Vikings are falling under the radar, but it's like your best player hasn't re-signed, and we've heard nothing. Like he hasn't appeared and been like, hey, I'm coming back. Like we're working on the deal. He hasn't demanded a trade either. Like we're in a weird zone right now, and if I'm Justin Jefferson, draft day did nothing to solve that problem for me. Like, and maybe their plan is to trot out Sam Darnold next year, but like, I don't even need to say anything. Sam Darnold's proven nothing. So that's a really good point about the division and those two teams that are kind of taking draft victory laps. Sorry to pour water on you guys, but you deserve it. You guys are.
It's just gotten ridiculous at this point. I think. I
got no beef with Green Bay, by the way. I don't know. Like you guys have just.
I don't either. That's what I said.
They have a classy organization.
They've earned my respect from how good they've been in the past. They've earned my respect. The fact that they're obviously coming, right? Like they had a great season last year. They ended off strong. I have no reason to believe that they are not going to be at least the same or better next year. I think personally, and I've been on record saying this multiple times to you, is that I think moving off of Aaron Jones was a catastrophic error on their part.
Right.
Because if you look at when Aaron Jones got healthy and you look at that second half of the season, those two correlated very similarly. When Aaron Jones was fully healthy and was playing at a high level, that's when they were really popping off wins.
I think I agree with you.
Really, there's some super suspect spots on that defense.
Well, I think Josh Jacobs is a better running back for them right now and is at a better age.
I think he is,
he's not a character guy.
But again, I think it's culture.
He's not a character guy.
I think it's culture, dude.
Yeah,
you're not winning Super Bowls without a high-end culture. I mean, think about every team that's won a Super Bowl in our lifetime, right? And even not even our life, but kind of our lifetime. I mean, the '90s Cowboys, the '90s Niners. You got the Patriots dynasty. You got the Chiefs dynasty. You got
Steelers mixing in there. The Tomlin,
the Steelers
Cowher
were in there. The Ravens were in there. The fucking the Eagles were in there. You know what I mean? Like these are all very, very, very high culture teams.
Right.
The Sean Payton Saints team was in there. The Colts team with Peyton Manning was in there. Those are all very, very, very high level cultures, you know. And the Bears and the Vikings and truly, I mean, most teams in the NFL don't have good cultures. That's like why we're so that's why we're so like hype about Dan Campbell, is because for forever we've had the worst culture in the NFL.
You know what's interesting?
And now we arguably have the best.
You know what's interesting? I feel like the Packers culture is kind of back to where it was with Aaron, where it's just sort of like, can we like offense and finesse and like slick quarterback play and like good OC play our way into like winning? And I don't think they're going to really win a bunch of Super Bowls, but I think they're going to be competitive for like a decade, and it's going to be really annoying for Lions fans who think that this is like our time uninterrupted. Like you saw what they did in Thanksgiving. Like, I don't know. I really respect, I watched a lot of them last season, and I really respect how poorly things started for them. And how Jordan Love pulled himself up by the bootstraps and like really came out and like started balling.
100%.
And they stuck with him,
100%.
but they didn't give him a long leash. Remember, their GM was asked, "Are you going to go with Jordan Love next season?" And he said, "It's a wait and see thing." And Jordan Love was like, "Okay, bet," you know. And those Jaden Reed really stepped up, you know.
Yep.
it's a fun team to look for. But to me, like that team with those young pieces and Josh Jacobs and that coach is far more interesting to me. And I'm looking at as a more as a threat next season to the Lions and a team that I respect and like look at as a scarier team than like what's going on in Chicago and Minnesota right now. Like you guys are living in pure hypothetical land. And I could be wrong, but it's like you have to show respect to the guys who did it.
But you're not going to be wrong, though. That's the thing. Like, do you truly believe the Bears are going to go out there and win 10 games? I don't. I don't think they're going to win 10 games and win a. I mean, what's their schedule?
So I think the only way I see that happening is if Green Bay and Detroit also win 10 or 11 or 12 games, and it's one of those years where the division is like deep and there's 3 playoff teams. Does that make sense? Yeah, I don't think they win 10 games at the expense of Green Bay and Detroit. Does that make you get what I'm saying? Like if they that's their ceiling to me, but it's like then that to me that puts them in like a wild card position where it's like, wow, the NFC North like really delivered this year. I don't see them being a 10-win team and then like but being above like Green Bay and Detroit. And that's how Bears fans are talking. Like Detroit and Green Bay are going to finish 500 all of a sudden, and they're going to be like an 11-win team. And it's like, why are we bad now?
I mean, their home games: Detroit, Green Bay, Minnesota, the Rams, the Seahawks, the Jaguars, the Titans, the Panthers, the Patriots. I see potentially 2 guaranteed wins there with Carolina and New England.
Right.
I think all the rest of them could be a toss-up. And then your away games, you have Detroit, Packers, Vikings, Cardinals, Niners, Texans, Colts, Commanders.
Right.
I'm not sure I see a guaranteed win on there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So, like, I'm not going to sit here and say that, like, I mean, 10 games? You know what I mean? 10 games.
It's a lot. But my point is, I
see 3 that they should win.
Yeah.
Like, for sure.
To me, they won 7 last year. But it's not so much the win total, it's the scenario. Like, the scenario I'm seeing from Bears fans is that they're going to, like, Yeezy jumped over Jumpman against the Lions next year.
It's going to take a couple
and we're going to win 8 games all of a sudden because like it's undefined. Yeah. They're just like, like and they're going to win 11 games. And my point is the only way I see them being a 10-win team is if it's one of those things where like them and Green Bay are competing for like the second in the division. And they also have 10 wins or 11 wins, and the Lions have won the division.
Yeah.
I don't see a world like the Bears might be good next year. I've left that up to possibility.
I don't think they're going to be trash. I just don't think they're going to be a 10-win.
I don't either, team. But I'm saying their ceiling to me still doesn't take away from Detroit. Games. So stop. So keep our names out of your mouth.
I think they win. I think they win 8. I think they win 8 games and miss the playoffs again. But they're like there, so they have something to look forward to. But